Motion to approve minutes from June 17th.
I make a motion we approve June 17th finance committee minutes.
We have a motion. There's a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And thanks to Steve Martin, each stop for taking our minutes, but a lot of and thanks when we get to council meeting, the Conley and others for that lengthy as well from last meeting. We'll get into our invoices. And if you remember at our last meeting, we recommended to council and they approved that to allow the clerk to pay any bills that come in June the 18th after our last meeting until Friday, June the 30th. And so normally the list of invoices we have are bills that are waiting to be paid, but these are ones for our approval that have already been paid because we want to finish that year out without rolling all that into this next year. And so you've got $130,165.28. And if you went through all your receipts and looked at it, you actually had $136,497.33 written. But then you had two checks voided, one from the June 17th list and one from back in the month of March. So when you deduct those, then you come down to the actual cost of the city, the $130,000 mark. But if you look through all those, that's why you had, again, there kind of had an explanation. One was the check had been held by Wolf Creek or by us.
Yeah, with
us for over 90 days.
Yeah.
And so we had to redo it. And the other was they wrote to a vendor, the reserves paid it, so instead they voided that check and reimbursed the reserves. So with that, we'll have any questions about the invoices for this period.
One 6/18/19, page 101, on G block, let's remove the door, $1,500 per door, and then
That was the door on the old restroom building in the back of the mechanical room. They had to cut that out and install a new door
oh, no restroom.
on the old restroom.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if it had everything brand new in here, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, that was in our information packet probably 2 months ago.
Okay. I knew we did that. Second thing I was going to explain that to you, Greg, was the reserve thing, $1,300 some dollars. It's actually, they billed the city, then they actually bill our credit card to cover. That's what that is. So made all you had believe everything that we had in the reserves. Now these items are like 30 minutes of fact already knew this earlier, we're already taking care of some good.
Okay.
105, just a question. The 12507 vehicle towed for 80 on West Virginia Avenue. Will we get that back from whoever owned the car, or did we notify them ahead of time?
They were notified Friday before it started. Supposedly they had left the keys at Huntington that we moved. So they were the whole contractor of them.
Yeah.
They just acted up. So,
They were going to move like those actually.
And then on the second set of 105, the first thing is $330 for a winch out the fire truck number 553 from Big Tyler Road. What's that about? Did you hurt the fire truck? I know that's a silly question.
It was on a house fire,
And it just got stuck in the
and the gift patch basically get to it, and we couldn't get back out of the gift patch. And go,
but it did hurt the truck.
that damage. And I did the baby spin. Actually, this goes back, this goes back about 2 months. Called the lady and over there, and they told us not worry about it. And then they're still invoicing the city passed it. And I called them again, and they wouldn't work with me. I'm still on what I'm saying.
All the truck.
We're good.
Okay, then on 205, 920 cents for customized badges for the police department. Is that for all of our promotions or new officers?
Yeah, they're not customized properly yet. We got some new badges several years ago. They came in with different size badges. We're basically 2 different types of badges. we decided to make all the packages as we promote the new, not customized. They're customized because they say Dunbar, they're not.
Nothing special, because of promotions.
So we're just slowly getting working all back to one.
That's- And on the very, basically on 1 and 2 on that third section, just all the Atkins and Atkins and overlaps. Is that, are they putting liens on people, or are they taking the people and
Yes.
putting all that back?
Yes.
Like, where they haven't paid, they.
Now, there's always two because we break it down, municipal and garbage.
Right.
Okay, and then if there's $80, that's where they took it to court.
Okay. Okay, I was hoping this one.
And then we get the customer to reimburse us.
Okay. I was hoping that was about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Steve? No, I'm good as well. So again, you have your total with the voids taken out, 130,165.28 cents. We have a motion to send this to full council, well, it's already been paid, it's in full council for approval.
I make a motion to send invoices to full council totaling $130,165.28.
No second.
Motion second, any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, clerk, for, again, you and the mayor working on this so that we can try to finish the year out clean. The next thing you see there, we've been dealing with ordinance 781, and I'll just refresh our memories on that, and then we'll go back looking at this amendment. The 781 is the ordinance coming out of Councilman Scipio's committee, dealing with pay raises for the city, and in that, it has several things for the city non-union workers that are out. It's an increase of 30 cents an hour recommended. Then what was first put out in the first version of it was for your building inspector, public works director, and parks and rec director, that was $750. And it's been recommended now for adjustment to $1,500 because there was no raise previous year. So that's an unfair explanation. Okay, and then the rest of it, it shows a recommendation for the city police chief. We learned that last time how that would be set up, and then there's also the information from the fire and police unions, the hourly changes, and for their deputy chief and chief and the patrolman. So all those things are in there. So again, it's 781 from the last meeting. We approved on the first reading, but it's been recommended we amend that one line, line 2, and to change those department heads from 750 to 1,500 in their raise to catch up where they didn't get a raise the previous year. So everybody's had that to look at. And you've had the memo from the mayor explaining. Any questions or discussion, or Council Scipio or committee have any input? Okay. Anybody else any questions?
We did, Steve and I did talk, and he had researched it, and we can't do an amendment for his recommendation prior to the second reading without having to delay the final reading.
So again, what the mayor is saying is this would, in our committee, and then send it on to full council, but our committee would first amend it and then go to the second reading of it. And then, of course, that's just our recommendation. And full council, it would be up to the whole council if they choose to amend it. And then after amended, then a roll call vote on the second reading. So, any other questions from not only the finance committee, but any other city councilman or city council person too about this amendment? Entertain a motion now to amend ordinance 781 paragraph 2 to make that change from 750 to 1,500.
I make a motion to make the amendment to change paragraph 2's ordinance 781 to say 1,500 instead of 750.
No second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Then now we'll go down to, again, the second reading of that ordinance now as amended. Again, that includes the raises for the city and your contract unions, which is fire, police, and department heads. So we pretty much would all be on the same page now. We agreed the first time. We've also amended it, so we're agreeing on that from our committee. But we still have to have a motion and vote for the second to forward this on for second reading. So we have a motion to send the full council for second reading 781 as amended.
I make a motion to send to full council second reading of ordinance 781 as amended, raising the compensation of the employees.
A second.
Motion is second. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And just a note on that, we're thankful as a city to be able to do this. Nobody's getting rich, but we are thankful to be able to give some form of raises this year again, to show our appreciation to our workers, and just to make sure, clarify for anybody that's here that's not on council and anybody that's watching it live on Facebook now, this is not for elected officials. This is only for our employees. Elected officials cannot have their salary changed during their term at all. So this is just for our employees. We'll go to C, the next one. This is a second reading also. Last time we dealt with ordinance 782, section 1729.03B. And it had two, to make it quick, it had two parts to it. This is dealing with notification about yard violations and things. The old version of the ordinance without this amendment had that you had to have a certified letter, and this one adjusts that. If you read through it, it can be a posted notice. You got me out a posted notice on the building, or hand delivered to a person over 16 in the residence. Is that correct?
Actually posted it instead of place, which we use in front of or whatever the name is. There's two doors on the house, stop those things. Yeah, I don't know if it's 16 or if it's certified.
I think our ordinance says 16, but it's whatever the state code will be. Okay. And again, for that is to speed this process up, because when you send a certified letter, that would take, what, 2 weeks or more by the time we come back.
I got one back Friday that I had mailed in March.
And the second half of this amendment to the ordinance is to change the time once they're notified, which now would be essentially the day. They're notified that day now.
We don't count that day.
Okay.
Part of the notice.
So the next day.
It starts the next day. They get the 5 days, 6 days, we go back.
So it had been 10. And again, that 10 could be stretched out forever because it's certified mail. So this cuts it down from 10 to 5 days. But again, we went through this last time and everybody voted for it. But any questions or anything that's come up in the interim? If not, we entertain a motion in for the second reading of ordinance 782, amending section 1729.03B.
I make a motion to send to council for a second reading of ordinance 782, amending sections 1729.03B.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? This is second reading, so there's no changes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. After the meeting 2 weeks ago, this seems easy enough. We had to cover the whole year long. The next one is resolution to allow the mayor to enter an agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Service for the resource officer, and that's to start the annual grant process for Lieutenant Rader at the middle school. So this is just routine to give our mayor authority to do that. Any questions on that? A motion to give him the authority to enter this agreement.
I make a motion for the mayor to enter into the agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Services for the resource officer.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Just a quick question, Mayor, do you know if will it be 18, 20,000 again if we get it this year, or they change the price? Will the chief know?
I don't reckon, I thought it was more than around 15.
Yeah, he needs to apply for the whole amount, 28. Then apply for the whole amount, then see what.
I've been working with you on it.
Right. We spent about 15 again.
The actual potential is 28.
Yeah.
But they think whatever pool money they have is divided up with the communities.
What was the last year?
15.
And again, that's anything that you get starts going down year after year. But it's something we definitely need. So, and it's better to get 15 than 0. Move down to new business. Approval to make repairs to fire truck 552. You've seen your invoice, and we hopefully went through that and looked at the situation there. It's actually, is it already done? I think it's being a fire truck. I think
It's been sitting there.
I'll sit there, still waiting for us. Okay, I'm sorry, I was thinking we already done it, it was just finalized.
It's exactly worldwide.
Okay, this is the Roxanne truck. Any questions for the fire chief on that? Again, we had a very detailed invoice of giving down the course of oil and things.
We hope it's all good. I don't know what I can tell you is the truck will not pull itself up Pine Circle Hill. Rarely pull itself up Bouquet. They're telling us EGR failure, all this government stuff that's on the truck is failed.
Emissions.
You take the government off. So I don't know what we get into it. I haven't personally spoken to them. I believe they're overshooting a little bit.
Any other questions for the fire chief?
Just Chief explained everything pretty well last time.
Sorry, chief.
And it was explained pretty well, wasn't mine.
So you've got your bid there for worldwide equipment, $8,064.54. And this truck's about 10 years old now, is that right? 13. Oh, 2013 model, okay. Entertain a motion then to approve repairs to fire truck 552, and you see the amount $8,064.54.
I make a motion to approve the expenditure for fire truck 552 in the amount of $8,064.54 to worldwide equipment.
I'll second.
Motion second. Questions? Comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Receive bids for phase 2 street paving and repairs, and that's has been worked on by the street committee. I was out of town, so Connie, okay, you want to share with us about that?
We met last week and we went through, the mayor was at the meeting. We made a list of potential streets that we need to have pummeled and or resurfaced, and then the mayor has a list of these. With the approval of this, we will send it out for bid, to see where we're at. Then once we get the bids in, we'll meet again, decide how much money we have and how much we can build.
But basically, everything that everybody put on the list, we'll put out the bid, see where the numbers fall.
Over improvement. Any other questions for Connie or any street committee members? Again, this is just putting out to bid. It's a wish list. Let's see how much the bid goes in, what we get to do. Entertain a motion to approve to put out for bid phase 2 street paving repairs.
I make a motion to put out for bid for phase 2 street paving.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Seems how we got some time tonight.
Yes,
Gary,
sir.
There's a culvert failing on Caldwell Lane, and Caldwell Lane has actually been taken into the highway department system. It's 25 over 5, I believe is what it is. And it goes from Wilson Street all the way around up the hill and back over down.
That just happened.
No, it's been that way, but there's been a lot of confusion. So Matt is notifying the DOH district people that they need to get up there and send them some photographs and stuff. To get up there and put that on their priority list because that drain, what would you say, is 8 to 10 feet deep to the bottom of it.
Oh, 10 feet.
So we did well outside of our scope to be able to deal with it. And the sooner they get on it, the sooner they're going to avoid catastrophic major failure.
I would say all. Most of all. Yeah, especially you. The truck, because we don't know how far back this thing failed, but it's probably about 6 feet already under mine. 6
I'll
inches.
move there tomorrow, because we can access it from Wilson.
You got four-wheel drive on that?
We just drove it.
Yeah, it's
Today,
$8.
All these street.
No,
Is it?
can't get the ladder truck up that side of it. We can
Um,
get, I can get an engine up this.
Someone bad spot, there's all, nothing you
Me
can.
and you need, me and you need to go together.
There's a big old bump right in the middle of it, yeah, but other than that, it's like
I think
country road.
power company's going out and cleared the right of way on the side of
Oh,
it, and it doesn't look so as intimidating as what it did before. It's not on the road.
I know, I know.
It's nice.
Okay, I'll-
It was worse than that, I can remember.
Yeah, it's not good work.
I was unaware of it.
Yeah, you should probably go take a look at it, because it's undermining on the southern roadway edge towards the. Oh, it's a high cut. No, that's the collapse. The culvert apparently comes down the hill off of the roadway edge. There's a drop inlet right there, and then it cuts across right there. I'm not sure, you know, it's a stream cutting across or what's cutting across, but there's a lot of sunken areas there, so you should probably take a good look at it and see how to adjust for it. That just goes real fast when you cross over.
Look like in front of the fire
Worse than that.
Oh, no, yeah, this thing's undermined 6 feet back under the roadway edge.
I'll go with that first. Thank you. I didn't,
We didn't realize it was that bad.
it's scary.
I'll just write a note.
I'll call you. I'll call
We'll move on to our next item. This is also dealing with streets. The rental of street milling equipment for pothole repair, and costs not to exceed $5,500 for 1 month. Scott? Anything you want to share on that?
Let's pick it up Monday, once everything gets approved tonight.
Yes.
Start Monday, pay.
This will be the same as last year, the same equipment, to make the nice squares.
Yes.
Actually,
24 inch wide.
any questions for Scott?
Ready?
Yeah, I think everybody's ready for that. We have a motion to approve the rental of street milling equipment for pothole repairs not to exceed $5,500 for a 1 month period.
I make a motion to approve the rent the street building equipment for the pothole repair, not to exceed $5,500 for 1 month.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. And
If I can interject again. A person just came in the office today that rents equipment, and they rent a self-contained heated asphalt bin that will hold up to 4 tons. So it heats it up to 300 degrees, and if you get 4 tons and it holds overnight, you can fire it up the next morning, heat it up. So you but he's going to send me a quote as to how much it costs. I mean, it may be worthwhile losing a half a ton or a ton of asphalt as opposed to rent this thing. It is could be very beneficial to the city, and then they also have a machine that they rent for sealing the cracks in the road, which desperately needs to be done to have safety and integrity of the road. And the rent of the machine is to purchase of the material, which is 98 cents a pound. And you get the machine included in that. And so you're looking about 2 tons of material will give you 9,300 feet. Patching, which seems like a lot, but when you're going back and forth across the street, it's really not that much. So we might want to look at that as well. Summer goes on, we get our potholes done, maybe go back and look at crack repairs, which will further extend the life of the roads.
Move on to storm drainage. You see your next item there. It's looking for a bid to replace the storm drain between Oak Street and Chestnut Street.
That would actually be a better question for Matt, because he's been working on it.
Okay.
Is it the east-west drain or the north-south drain?
North-south drain. The one that goes all the way between the 2 streets. It's got the big sinkholes in the people's yards.
Oh, okay, that's the one, okay, I was thinking a different one. Yeah, we need to get, it's a lot undermining that area.
It's a 200 foot roughly.
Yeah, roughly, somewhere right. Been a long time getting that new one. Yeah, it's been, we can go with tobacco.
So we have on the agenda then the request to approve bids, excuse me, receiving bids for that replacement between Oak and Chestnut Street. It's about a 200 foot run, 12-inch pipe.
I make a motion that we receive bids for the replacement of storm drain between Oak Street and Chestnut Street as soon as possible.
Motion second, any other questions or discussion?
Just one other comment. We've been putting this off for probably 8 to 10 years, waiting to have time with our crews to be able to get to it. And it's just not happening. It's just one of those things that needs to come to fruition. We think
Some of the places are actually hazardous. It's reflected as part of it, and they're little dangerous stuff if you're hurt in there.
Hearing nothing else, we'll have a vote then. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Again, this is just to receive bids. And then the next one also is very similar, receiving bids. 12-inch storm drain on Westmoreland, about 180 feet. So a very similar situation. Anything we need to share on that, Hugh?
No, I thought we actually were gonna do that one, so.
actually that's one we can't do. Cannot do. The one up on Oak, between Oak and Chestnut, we could potentially do if we ever had the manpower to do it. The one behind on Westmoreland.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where my brain is.
Yeah, we're gonna get it on.
No, we're not doing that. Our guys, they just flat out told me they're not doing this.
It's too steep.
Where's this at?
It's
317 Westmore.
It's on the hill behind the houses, between Knox and Westmoreland.
Oh, it's
So
like
it
down
runs
there,
down through the woods.
down over the hillside.
Yeah.
I think they're, right, it's about 7 or 8 houses from the stop sign, and it runs at about a 2% grade for 50 or 60 feet, and it drops to about a 70-degree angle after that. So it goes down, and basically, Jeremy said he's not, Nick Stevens, he doesn't trust his machine, and he's not going to, so rather than hurt somebody. And it's right between 2 houses. We'll see how.
So we have a request to approve receiving bids for this Westmoreland Drive, 180 foot roughly, 12-inch storm drain.
Make a motion to receive bids for the replacement of the 180 storm drain at Westmoreland and 370.
Second.
Motion second, any other discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. And your last one here, and then we'll jump down for a couple of moments. Business approval to solicit bids, solicit proposals to repair and replace the power service at City Hall building. We had a memo on that, and this sounds like a very serious situation with Hugh or Mayor.
It's, what it is where the conduits come through the walls and basement, and walls, we're getting leakage through those, which is extremely hazardous. This will run 600 volt electric through there. It's just that a puddle and decide that wants to get you. So we need to get in there, excavate the outside, probably look at it, and figure out what's our best course of action. I might discuss one day. We might even be able to bring it overhead to the building and then come down the wall again. You need to have a lot of big memorial area out here. It's all underground there. So that might be one way we can go with it. Call on our state, a couple of points. Give some ideas of what to do. And we might end up having to replace the panel box downstairs because of the water. That's what it's for the damage. If they run it, yeah. Panel boxes
Kinda scary.
are-
Kind of scary.
Do you have a question, Doug?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, question, how did we get here?
It's been.
That is basically like every wall.
Since the fire department was down there.
Since City Hall was built, that's when it was put in there.
Hopefully we can remedy some of our sins.
Yeah, this just didn't happen.
Yeah. So we seek approval to solicit proposals and bids for repairing the service, your electric access essentially for City Hall.
I make a motion to approve to solicit proposals to replace or repair the power source to
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. In your clerk's report, again, it's difficult because the year just ended, the month and the year ended Friday. Today's the first day, but our clerk has given us printouts as of the 28th, Friday close of all of our accounts. Again, all accounts, as it's correct.
Yes.
Okay, and so just remind everybody in council, this is for our information as far as just the actual number. People can ask any question, but this here, since it involves accounts, even though the numbers are blacked out, we ask you not to share that. If somebody wants to know how much is in the bank, not a problem, but don't hand them the paper. But it gives you a listing of all our accounts, including the police accounts and everything for the end of the year. And we've got the statement of accounts. So it's all that you clerk to share what you like.
That's, basically, today's the first. I could go ahead and put these two things for you all. But by next council, I'll have everything, we budget, that's put in our form. We did, let's just say maybe I made a mistake last week on our budget adjustment to the state. In the sanitation cannot go below 85% of what we take in, and we reduced it by 30. And so I had to, Shelley at the auditor's office suggested that she forced us to take 15 from that account and then take the other 15 from our contingency.
15% or 15,000?
15,000. Okay. We originally reduced it by 30, which would put us below the 85%. Jeremy, Greg said on the revision, so we did have to make that change.
And there will be one final budget adjustment.
Yes.
Next meeting.
Both have to, because they're getting everything fell early.
Yeah. Either next meeting or the following, the 1st of July, we'll have a final budget adjustment to,
First of all,
to final budget adjustment to,
we'll stay in our general fund, and I'll get new budget in the system and have everything, and give everybody a good look, keep track of everything.
Anybody have a question? Again, it's not the clerk's fault. Business didn't end until Friday evening, but so that's why we just have our reports when we come in. Any question for the clerk on the report for your statement of accounts for those different investments or the bank balances?
I think we soon need to also look at the investment accounts, our iPass, that's where investable fees are paid into, the people table 9. We may need to look at if we maybe move some of that and put it in one of the other funds. But we'll discuss that later whenever, what we should do. Maybe might be a fund that we can pull when we start our requirements. Pension. Start paying them.
That's all you've got, right?
Yes, sir.
Because it's the first. She hadn't had time to get anything collected yet. So the next meeting she'll have a lot of information for us. Mayor, we can give us a full report. Anything else you want to share financially?
All in all, we're doing pretty well. Close out the year. Should have a final number once we get everything closed out. After probably next week when Brian comes in and enter in these last payments and get everything reconciled. I don't think it will come as any big surprise. You know, monitoring the finances pretty close in the last years. We have a pretty good idea of this line. The pool is starting to pick up numbers now. So before we have there shows the rain days and then when this some really cold days that, we didn't put on there. Probably the cold days were probably more impacted than the rain days, or a combination of both of them. But with the heat wave, you can see the numbers are starting to pick up pretty substantially. And, we're having a lot of people involved down there, smart citizens go down there swimming and so forth. With the soccer tournament, I don't know if you will be out in Dunbar, the reports are pretty good. I mean, the entourage, both completely, the people that look sideways, the Super 8 was booked completely for the whole weekend. So it's having a positive impact here in Dunbar. Our restaurants have had banners. The people have been extremely friendly and nice to them. Come to these tournaments. I think it'll be something that we can grow. We can start. I think the key for next year, these events will be coming back, is to start targeting having some events inside the city while these events are going on. People, another excuse other than just and restaurants will come to the bar and get to work on getting the advertising out, you know, with the packets and so forth. They were excited for Charleston, the festival here. So, everybody seems to be having a positive experience. People at Dunbar have been gracious. The comments I get are that people are so friendly and helpful.
Have you noticed that when the tournaments come, the census of pool goes up even more?
Feel bad, pretty, maybe when you see a soccer game, I mean, there's something pretty nicky. Yeah, we, the referees have been coming over too. We're having pretty good day.
Increase even at all.
We've had
I was there the other day, and the woman in front of me, she was telling her cashiers that her kids were down there practicing at the store while the kids were down.
Graziano is staying in the standing room only today, Greg and I were over for lunch. Asked the owner, I said, well, I said, how's your weekend been this week? He said, I've never seen it like this in such a long time. He said, we're actually going to wore out. And he said, they're doing good. I mean, there were places said that they weather great.
I talked to the gentleman from Colts, and he said it's been gone and stuff.
Listen, yesterday was packed
It's
also.
like on the first person from out of town, that hot dog for everything. See what they get.
Hey, I've been promoted, that you can't go back north unless you have West Virginia dog.
This could be any other questions, comments, Mayor, anything else? Findings? With that, we'll take a motion to adjourn. Second. Thank you.
Shoes.